last night and not really rewarding bad behavior, and just being too much of a nice guy. Like, it's a huge issue, massive issue with you. You know it, but so for instance, last night, so another girl from the day previously, we had the date lined up for lunchtime, and then from the date, we also, before the date, went for a DG session, met another girl. So the plan was to meet a girl before the date and try to line up a dinner date, right? So we had a lunchtime date and a dinner date, right? And so we had a time constraint. And so the lunchtime date, the plan was with this girl is meet her, bounce to a juice closer to your place, bounce from there, pick up a lot of groceries, bounce pretty much home, watch a movie, I'm going to wing you, we pull her. And we had like a time limit because we had that other date, the girl that was going to finish work about 5:36, so we had about 3-4 hours to try and do both possibly, right? And so if you're there to win, right, we pull the first one back and we try to make it happen. If it does happen, then she stays, and then we cancel the dinner date girl for the next day,
Yeah.
But what happened was we ran like perfect date structure pretty much. Picked her up, boom, bounced closer to home, juice, little walk, boom, went shopping, picked up food, boom, she was totally compliant, down to just come for the run, right? Boom, straight home, cooked food, I even put on a movie, and then we like sat down, then you pulled into the room, and then it was like it was a fail, right? Which just happens all the time, right? But the idea was you implanted in her head that you're going to take her to a sauna or a spa, right? And the whole time on the date, I was like, no, don't do that, because we'll just keep to the structure. We're just pulling straight home, right? And yeah, she wasn't, she wasn't down. She didn't like sleep with you or anything. But then after not sleeping with you, so we still had time to make the second date for dinner. So we still had time to do that, And so what'd you do? Typical nice guy stuff.
Yeah, typical nice
She
guy.
didn't sleep with you, which then on top of that, even though it's not a bad thing, she doesn't have to sleep with you, of course, right? But at that point, it's like, okay, well, we've had dinner, we've hung out, we've watched a bit of a movie, we'll drop you home, and then we'll go for the date with the second girl. We'll try run through the process and try seal the deal there, right? We're here to win, right?
Yeah.
That's the difference between a fucking winner and a loser. That's pretty much it, right? And so instead, after, and she doesn't have to sleep with you, of course, but like after that first date, and pulled her to your bedroom, you're like, oh, Dave, look, we're going to go to a sauna. Or, and so it's kind of like giving a signals, right? And then, you take her out to a sauna and a spa and whatever, and kind of cock block yourself with the second date, which was a golden opportunity. I think she was probably a better girl, And like in hindsight, that first one, sticking in there and being a nice guy, it's kind of like, we had to reschedule this one for today, but if you had of afterwards, just, okay, it's a nice little date, we pulled home, we watched a movie, it's not like you did anything wrong. Drive her home, just go, look, I'll drop you home. Go to the second date, try to seal the deal there.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm playing the game too much to please other people instead of myself.
That's why you're not winning much.
Yeah.
Because we're here to fucking win.
Yeah.
If you're not winning, you're losing. I don't think giving them all of this power is good for society either. So you're a tall, good-looking guy in his 20s. Like she came here, she's like, is this your place? This is too big. Remember the joke?
Yeah.
I said, well, maybe we'll make it smaller for you. So, you've got all these advantages, And if you're simping to women, so then we think on a macro scale, like this is another topic again. Like if you're a high quality man, you know, you're not unemployed, you know, you got money, good looking, you know, tall in his 20s. If you're going around like, you know, being the nice guy with women and letting them walk all over you, then the next poor sucker's gonna have to deal with that. She thinks she can walk over all men.
Yeah.
So on a macro scale, you're kind of fucking society. And I don't know if this is okay to put on YouTube, but just say, for instance, you dropped her straight home afterwards, then, you know, she had the option of staying here overnight and hanging out. You know, she could have done that. I kept embedding that in the conversation all the time. I was like, you staying over? You know, you drop her home, she has time to think about, you know, while you go out and date another girl that's probably more compliant.
Yeah.
Because you're out there trying to fucking win, right? And that's not being like an asshole, but hypothetically, what if you were an asshole? Hypothetically.
If I was an asshole?
If you were to be an asshole and start being like getting to the fucking point to get what you want out of life, then every other girl afterwards is gonna know. You know, because so you're there to win. You wanna sleep with the girl. You wanna lock the girl in. You wanna lead. You wanna be in control of what happens on the dates, and you're just like pushing for what you want, right?
Yeah.
Fit in or fuck off. You know, if they don't fit in, fuck off. That girl then learns a lesson about dealing with a proper man, and then the next guy she goes out on a date with, in the back of her head, she's like, maybe all men are fit in or fuck off guys that go for what they want. Maybe I'll be a bit more compliant with the next guy. And so imagine the positive effects that you're having on all the girls that you're interacting with.
Yeah.
You know? Because you're like pretty much a 9 or a 10. You're literally a 9 or a 10.
Yeah.
So therefore, 5s, there's a lot of men that have just 5s or 3s or 2s that are struggling out there. If you go for what you want and she doesn't want to do that, you know, that's fine. She doesn't have to. And you're like, okay, fuck off. Then the next guy's going to have an easier run with her because she's going to understand that men are willing to, you know, go for what they want. They're not all fucking nice guy simps. So on a macro scale, if you're simping and giving girls compliments, you know, paying for everything and being the nice guy and just having like 20 dates that go fucking nowhere, the next guy's got to deal with that shit.
Yeah.
He's got to pay for that. And he's not a 10. He's not a 9 like you or a 10. You know? So, think about when you're being this type of guy on a macro scale, you're kind of hurting society on
yeah. I'm making girls that are 5s feel like 9s and make them feel like they can just walk all over the next guy that comes along.
Yeah, and they're walking all over them. Look at what's happening to society.
They can walk all over me, they can walk all over everybody else.
Yeah, the ripple effect. Like, dude, like, think about it.
They're just going to hurt their own relationships going forward.
And last night, obviously, I'm here to like push it through and go like nuts. You don't do this shit while you're by yourself. But like, I'm here to like churn and fucking burn. Let's get this shit done, right?
Yeah.
All right, she's not keen. Okay, I'll drop you home. Next, let's get some more. You know. But the ripple effect on a macro scale is probably far more damaging than you're aware, because those guys out there that are struggling, if they have to deal with women like this all the time, then society doesn't work for them. Then they want to burn all society to the ground. They go make bad decisions. And the ripple effect is some 9s and 10s, nice guys, were too nice with these girls. They got all this fucking privilege and a chip on their shoulder and started treating all men like shit. And then because men are really the backbone of society. That's just a fact. The 2s, 3s, 4s, and 5s and 6 men of society, they're the backbone of this fucking shit. You know?
Yeah.
But the 9s and the 10s are the ones that get all the pussy. You know, so on a macro scale, like think about what you're doing, because everything that you do affects everyone else. Yeah. And yourself. And if you're not winning, you're fucking losing.
Yeah. I mean, you could say that my game was so bad for who I am that I just wasn't even getting laid, you know, much at all over the previous year. So, I mean, if I'm doing that, like...
Imagine a fucking 5.
Yeah.
His life's fucked. And then you go give her a compliment and be super nice to her and simp after her, and then she goes deals with a 5 and she's like, as if he's like he's not even human. Treat him like he's not even human. But now we got it on video now, so remember this, you know?
Yeah.
If you're not winning, you're fucking losing.